Our next speaker will be Mr. Jasdeep Singh. He is the chairman for Sikhs of America and served as a personal mentor for me and for my entire life. A lot of my own accomplishments are a result of his guidance. He is a well-connected, generous individual and a true inspiration to us. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Singh to the stage.
Thank you so much, Fateh. Sat Sri Akal, Assalamu Alaikum, good evening to all of you. On behalf of Sikhs of America and my board members here, Baljinder Singh Shami and Dr. Surinder Gill, Mr. Sethi, Sardar Bakshish Singh Ji, Your Excellency, Ali Jehangir Siddique, we welcome you to the United States as Ambassador of Pakistan. I wanted to share a little story. There was a Sikh, Pakistani Sikh, who was shot dead in Peshawar a few weeks ago. And it happened to be the first day that our ambassador was coming to the office. And we requested our dear friend Rizwanji, DCM, and Sajid Tarar is our ambassador at large for Pakistan. And he, the ambassador graciously said that, yes, I would love to see a delegation of Sikhs. We wanted to go and talk to the ambassador about the shooting in Peshawar. And the ambassador, the whole Pakistan embassy, Sheikh Saab, everybody was so gracious to our delegation. And I was really touched when ambassador said, if you don't mind, I would like to Quran mein se kuch ayat padhni hai unki memory mein. And that was such a touching scene that you did in his office. He recited Quran in memory of a Sikh who was shot dead in Pakistan. So we are really, really touched by that. Thank you, Ambassador. I know most of you, you're my brothers, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm switching to Hindi Punjabi, Ambassador, and I know you can understand Punjabi. Mac, my dear friend, I will explain it to you later. But Sikhan da Pakistan ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਹੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੈ ਉਨਾ ਹੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਰਹੀਏ, ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ 'ਚ ਰਹੀਏ, ਅਮਰੀਕਾ 'ਚ ਰਹੀਏ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ 'ਚ ਰਹੀਏ, ਸਾਡੀ ਦਿਲ ਜੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਾਨ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦਿਲ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ। ਬਚਪਨ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਟੋਰੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਆਇਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਾਂ, when we put a little child to sleep in the afternoon, my mom used to tell me stories, but not stories about kings and queens and other stories. She used to tell me stories about Pakistan, how she grew up in Pakistan, how the lanes of Gujar Khan used to be. She was from Gujar Khan, my dad is from Rawalpindi. So we have that bonding with Pakistan that can never, diminish. We have our Gurudwaras, Guru Nanak, the prophet of Sikhs, the founder of Sikhism. His birthplace is in Nankana Sahib, as all of you know. There are so many other historical Sikh Gurudwaras in Pakistan that we pray every day that we should go, that please give us freedom that we can go to Pakistan and visit our Gurudwaras. So there's a natural bonding between Sikhs and Pakistan. And we have the same feeling and pain that you have for Pakistan. And we, Sikhs of America, are here to support you in your journey here, and we wish you all the success. Pakistan-India relationship, we wish they can get better. We want that we can have free borders like US-Canada, not like US-Mexico, but US-Canada. And we wish that, but unfortunately our foreign policies and our politics and politicians are not on the same page as we people are. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਰਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਲਵ ਕਰਦੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। So we have no differences here, but our foreign policies ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਨਜ਼ਮ ਸੁਣਾਵਾਂ। ਕਈ ਇਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ पहले एम्बेसडर साहब आए सी जलानी साहब जो आए सी तब भी मैं उन्होंने भी रिसेप्शन पढ़ी सी तो मैं हुण फिर पढ़ना कि एक कुछ इस तरह ने साडे रिलेशनशिप इंडिया पाकिस्तान दे जिहड़े ऑफिशियल रिलेशनशिप ने कि वो नज़म है कि रावी चों निकलियां दो नहरां एक सुक्की ते एक वगई ना जिहड़ी वगई ना ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਦੋ ਬਾਹਮਣ ਨਾਵਣ ਇੱਕ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਲੱਭੇ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੱਭੇ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੱਭੀਆਂ ਦੋ ਗਾਵਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਫੰਡਰ ਤੇ ਦੂਜੀ ਸੋਈ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਣ ਆਏ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਪਿਆ ਦੋ ਆਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਖੋਟਾ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਚੱਲੇ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਜੋੜਦੇ ਜਾਈਏ ਲੰਮਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਾਈਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਗੈਟਿੰਗ ਐਨੀਵੇਅਰ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਫ ਆਵਰ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਐਂਡ whatever the situations are there but as community as ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ we are together and we should work together for a better future of both countries and a better future of Pakistani-Americans and Sikh Americans and Indian Americans in America. If we can all live here together, we can live back home together too. So once again, thank you very much and for coming, and we welcome you. And I would also like to say a few things about my dear brother Sajid. साडा खून का कोई रिश्ता नहीं है पर एक खून के रिश्ते तो भी वध गए ਇਹ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਭਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ such a clean hearted such a honest person such a giving person I learned from him every day something new and I will keep learning it for the rest of my life. He has the vision when everybody was saying do not support Donald Trump when he would get 2,000 messages in the office on his Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, people cursing him out. And I've seen those. I was with him. And he said one thing. He said, first, I agree with his policy. Second, there's nobody from Pakistani community to represent our community in front of the president if he wins. He said, all of our baskets are in one, eggs are in one basket with Democrat Party. Nobody's there with this president. And if he wins, where's the community going to go? So he has that foresight, he has that vision, and I think we are very thankful to you that today, because of you, we have a place, not only Pakistani community, but the whole South Asian community, we have a place in the White House. So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to, Fateh, can I invite him, or you want to say something? Ladies and gentlemen.
Swam will be coming next.
Sajid Tarar, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
First of all, thank you everybody for coming. I'm so gracious, I'm so humble today. And every single one of you are my family member. These are the people, these are a very selected group of people. I personally call every single person in this room to come and say, and hello and welcome Ambassador Ali Jehangir Siddique. I'm very humble that all of you guys came in a very busy schedule, especially Saturdays when you are sitting home with your family, with your kids and everything. It's so nice, especially Dr. Sal, thank you for your gracious words, and every single person who has appraised me. I'm very humble and thank you. Before I start, I wanted to start with a prayer. Rabbi Sharli Sadri wa Yusurli Walul Makdam Melisani Yafkahu Qawli. Today, we are not only from tri-state area. Today, in our attendance, we Pakistani from different faiths are here, and I definitely wanted to acknowledge them. Brother Ilyas is here. Where is Brother Ilyas? He is here. He is representing Pakistani Christian community. And I'm very humble and very proud to invite Mr. Raj Rathore, who's representing, please stand up, is representing Pakistani Hindu community. Thank you for being here, and you make us complete, and without you, we are nothing. And next, I wanted to say thank you especially to the people, those have driven miles, like Raja Saab, like Dr. Asif Saab, Shafiq Siddiqui Saab, Mughal Saab, thank you for coming. And I really appreciate you put so many miles and you have sacrificed this weekend for us. Now let's talk about our new ambassador, Mr. Jehangir Siddique. Everybody's saying he's a young person. But what I see in him, the change is an international phenomenon right now, and he's an investment banker. And if you see what is the role of investment bankers are in current American new administration, it's a heavily surrounded by two people, investment bankers and the military guys. So I have a lot of hopes, and everybody has said our relationships are at very, very crucial, very critical point. So I see the vision. He has proven himself going to the Ivy League school in the US. He has taught economics. He has run a very successful bank in Pakistan. He has, and I expect, not only this, he was part of the last Prime Minister Abbasi, his finance team, and he led a very successful trip to Switzerland. And I was reading about him to see what else he can bring up on the table, and I was surprised that he has managed a very successful pharmaceutical company. He has led them, and I think that he is going to bring a lot of expertise from the business point of view, and especially making Pakistan strong again, making Pakistan prosperous again. So this is about our new ambassador. He matches the change in the current administration. I have mentioned it up. Here I wanted to say thank you to our DCM Saab, Rizwan Saab. His leadership since last 3 years, it was phenomenal. He is always very helpful to our community. I will miss Mr. Ahmed Naseem. He is very dear to my heart. We have a lot of common things among us. We are both from Islamabad. You will be dearly missed. And a lot of every person who has come from Pakistan Embassy, thank you so much. You have taken time and come to this event. And at the same time, I want to recognize our new military attaché, Chaudhry Kamal Akhtar Saab. Thank you, sir. Welcome to USA. And our community has a lot of expectations from you as well. Before I ask Mr. Ambassador to come on the stage, I wanted to say thank you to Sikhs of America for coming and acknowledging and saying welcome to our ambassador. I wanted to read a poem myself, which basically reflects my political stand or my own vision for Pakistani-Americans or Pakistan. And I wanted to share this poem with you. मैं इनकलाब पसंदों की एक कबील से हूँ. मैं इनकलाब पसंदों की एक कबील से हूँ. जो हक पे डट गया उस लश्करे कलील से हूँ. मैं यूं ही दस्तों गिरेबान नहीं ज़माने से. मैं यूं ही दस्तों गिरेबान नहीं ज़माने से. मैं जिस जगह खड़ा हूँ किसी दलील से हूँ. And now I wanted to, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to ask Mr. Ali Jehangir Siddique to come on the stage, and I will request you to please stand up and give him a big round of applause and say welcome. Thank you, Mr. Ali Jehangir Siddique. Thank you. Welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. I frequently get to speak at lunchtime, so it's the hard speech when everyone wants their lunch. Today I have to speak after somebody who spoke at the Republican National Convention, so it's much, much harder. But thank you all for welcoming me, and my wife Saira. I'm sorry she had to leave. She has a plane to catch, but we are touched by your warmth. I'm particularly grateful to Sajid Bhai and Shazia Bhavi and the children for welcoming us and for organizing this event. I want to say that this is my first community event. I've only been here just over 3 weeks. But as Jesse very kindly noted, my first interaction with the community was at the embassy And again, thanks to Sajid Bhai and Jesse and their friends. So thank you very much for welcoming me in such great warmth and so with so much love. As I was thinking about what I should tell you, rather than tell you a series of statistics about what a great place Pakistan is, which is true, I'd like to begin with a story. And this story is about a once great country that perhaps in the 80s, or the late 70s and the 80s, fell a little bit off track. And because of decisions at that point in time, this country went through a lot of difficulty. Its government didn't control all of its territory. There was internal conflict. The internal conflict led to terrorism. The terrorism led to a very weak economy. And this country, which was an economic giant, or an emerging economic giant, and recognized that way in the 70s, fell off and was left behind. And then its credit ratings and its economic situation worsened. And then we reach perhaps the late 90s when a revival began. And before I take you through that revival, in case some of you are wondering that I'm speaking about Pakistan, I'm not. I'm actually speaking about Colombia. I had the great pleasure of visiting Colombia. I have many friends in that country, and they ran me through the greatness that Colombia had in Latin America. You may know that Colombia produced gold for Spain when it was a colony. It always had the wealth, much like our part of the world. And then they had the narco trafficking, they had internal conflict, they had the FARC rebels, and Colombia went from being an emerging tiger in Latin America and in this part of the world to weakening economically. And when we get to the 90s, Colombia's economic situation was such that its credit ratings were downgraded, and its reputation was tarnished as a place of great violence. And then came this political leadership. The same group of leaders and the second generation, which is running the country today. And for those of you that don't know Colombia, today Colombia is a massive success. I've been to Colombia. I have seen women working, not just at the front of immigration counters and government, but in senior leadership positions. I have seen them becoming a massive exporter of the resources they have. I have seen them become a manufacturing powerhouse, and through that process, they have increased wealth and incomes for their people dramatically. But that is not all. You may have followed that in recent times, Colombia made peace with the FARC rebels, which was a tremendous step because every person, or nearly every person in that country, had suffered violence related to that conflict. Yet, they took a step to reconcile with that. And today, this country is going places. The reason I tell you this story is that when we speak about the story of Pakistan, many countries have had much more difficult times, much more challenging times, and have emerged very, very strong. And Pakistan certainly is not the place that Colombia was. Yet, when we speak about Pakistan, we speak in this one-dimensional thinking that, there's a problem. But a lot of countries have problems. And it's up to people who are in positions of leadership and the people who support them, much like yourselves, who take these countries forward. I have to say, just the very act of the speakers before me speaking out about taking Pakistan, having expectations from myself, and I represent the government, therefore having expectations from the government, and then the political leadership, someone mentioned the election, having those expectations. Another speaker spoke about accountability, and he didn't use the word, but that's what he was referring to. Having those expectations, holding people accountable in positions of government and power, and then participating in it is what led to success for Colombia and other countries. So we have a choice. We can follow that model and be one of two kinds of observers. The first group of observers, let's say for Colombia, were people who witnessed this change. I read about it in history books and spoke to friends and learned about it from my visits there. But who witnessed this great progression over the last 20 years to a really strong, dynamic, high-quality country. where it was 45 or 50 years ago. Or the other category are people that I would encourage you to be, ones that participate. And you can participate in Pakistan's revival and re-emergence. And we are well on our way. And I'm not denying that we have challenges. We have many challenges. But what I'm saying is many countries have challenges. Today, one would be hard-pressed to find a country in the world that is not facing difficult challenges. But rather than speak about the negativity, I ask you to participate alongside us, hold us accountable, and work with us to get Pakistan back to where we used to be. In the 1960s, many of you would have heard the story that Pakistan helped South Korea, Pakistani economists helped South Korean economists write their 5-year plans. I remember being told that the Habib Bank building in Karachi, when it was built, was the tallest building in Asia outside of Japan. And many companies I know from the 60s, in that era, were the largest companies in Asia outside of Japan that were Pakistani companies. So all we are saying is we have been there. And if we can come together as voters, as government, as expatriates, as friends of Pakistan, we can really participate in coming back and getting Pakistan back to the tiger that it was going to be. So I think we have a choice of going down this journey together. And I'm so thrilled by your warm welcome. I'm so thrilled that all of you spoke about the things you did, because I think the government is very keen. There are many committed people, and we need your help and support. And you can support us in many different ways. The most important of which is what Sajid Saab has been speaking about, and what Jesse spoke about, what his vision is, which is participate in your own political discourse and your own political process. And if you can do that, you will naturally carry the Pakistan story and naturally offer a perspective that is your own, but that will present Pakistan in a fair way. And that is all I ask. And of course, some of you are doing great things directly in Pakistan. Perhaps all of you are doing great things. Whether you have a relationship, whether you're supporting students coming from there to here, whether you have an orphanage, as one of the speakers is supporting, or getting people married and doing philanthropy. But at the very least, if you engage in a discourse, speak to other people about the other side of this story, explain that problems are not rare in this world, and certainly many countries have had more difficult times and have emerged, and that you have hope, as I do, and this is why I'm in government. I came, as it was noted, from the private sector, but I think I made a choice to participate, and I ask all of you to make that same choice and partner with us. And I have to say I'm touched, Jesse, by your and your colleagues' offer when we met about looking at investing in Pakistan. I would love to further that dialogue for religious tourism. I think that's an exciting idea, and we've discussed it internally, and we'd like to find ways to support that. In conclusion, I just want to thank all of you, and Sajid and Shazia in particular, for your warmth, for going through the trouble of organizing this, and inviting all your friends to welcome me. Thank you very much.